Welcome back to another RPO College Football Podcast, your favorite college football podcast. I'm your humble host, Jerome Jones. That's my guy, the man, the myth, the legend. You already know who he is, Mr. Ray Roberts. How you doing, Ray?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
Doing great. As always, like we said last week, this podcast is brought to you by Phenom. So as you see up there, our sponsor is Phenom. Make sure that you hit the promo code. Getting used to saying it. Hit the promo code. I'm trying to say QR code. Hit the promo code right up there, right in that corner, right up there, right above Ray, to get 10% off of all Phenom items, all gloves, all cleats, everything. You can find that on PhenomEliteBrand.com and get all your latest stuff for 10% off. Take advantage of it right now. 10% off on Phenom. Thank you, Phenom, for sponsoring us today. Hey, Ray, I'm excited for today's podcast, man. We're going to be talking some college football again. The last couple of weeks we've been talking about the draft and all that's great, but it's time to get back into college football, man. Get back into the swing of things. How you feeling, man? It's kind of the slow period between football. What's your feeling right now, man?
Like you said, it's kind of like a dead period right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, you could feel the football coming. I mean, you hear about it every day. I mean, you hear more about the NFL because they're like having camps right now.
Correct.
But where you don't really know about what's going on with college football. I guess we're going to get into some NIL stuff later on, but
yeah.
Let's not talk about a bad subject for right now. We'll talk about the players. That's what we want to talk about. So
let's talk about the good first. Let's talk about the good first, and then get into the interesting. And we're not gonna say bad. We're gonna say just interesting. That's what we're gonna do. All right. So today, and for the next couple of weeks, me and Ray are gonna go over our top 5 players at each position. Then we're gonna be doing quarterbacks and running backs, and then we're gonna also give you a rising star on both our ends. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I am curious to see what Ray's gonna have on there because we were, this was a last minute topic on our rising stars, and me and Ray kind of just put it together real quick, and I'm curious to see what he got because it seemed like we was talking a little bit. It seemed like we got maybe similar guy, but I'm curious. I want to know. But let's get right into it. We're gonna do our quarterbacks first, going from 5 all the way to 1. So at number 5, Ray, who you have at your number 5 quarterback?
I have 5A, of course, but I have 5A. I have Jalen Moreau from Alabama, and 5B I have Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Again, 2 guys that I think are good college players. And again, we need to tell people we're not talking about as NFL prospects. We're talking about college quarterbacks.
Players, yeah.
And there's really a decent crop of college quarterbacks. There really are. Mm-hmm. Of course, but we're going to talk about the 2 who I think are the top 5 for me. So they were my top. Like I said, I had Moreau and Dart is a 5A, 5B type.
Yeah, I actually do. Go ahead.
Of course, we know Moreau is more of an athlete than a quarterback right now, but he's developing that way. We'll see how he makes out.
Yeah, I have. If I would have made a 5A and 5B, I might have probably put Monroe in there. I don't have him as in my top 5. I got a guy that probably and it's funny. I said this before we got on. I was like, a lot of people might not like my list. I don't care. It's my list. So at number 5, I have Cameron Ward out of West. What is it? Dang, what's the school name? Well, I'm bugging right now.
Cameron Ward is Miami.
Cameron Ward's in Miami now? Oh, yeah, that's right. Dang. Yes, there you go. Yeah. Cameron Ward. So my guy's Cameron Ward. He did transfer. Let me see. It was West Kentucky. Yes, he's in Miami. Wow, Washington State. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about something for W, the big W in it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yes, he's from Washington State, transferred to Miami now. I think he's a good player, man. I think he's going to be a good addition to Miami. I totally forgot that he transferred to Miami. So a rising guy. I think with the transfer, a lot of people don't know who he was. And West, obviously, Washington State. Washington State was a school that a lot of people didn't know about. So he's I think he's one of my dark horse guys. obviously you want to see him in a bigger program now that he is in Miami. You want to see him in a bigger program, how he does. But I think he got a lot of ability, running ability, and he can pass really well. So that's my guy there.
Jerome, my phone's ringing. Can you give me a minute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
100%. I'm gonna go to my number 4 real quick. While Ray's doing that, and I'll get back to him on that. So this number 4 is probably gonna piss a lot of people off, because I see him on the top of a lot of quarterback lists around the country. Most people have him at number 2, number 1. Have him really up there, but my number 4 guy, and don't knock me for this. This is top 5 out of thousands of college quarterbacks. Thousands of college quarterbacks. So I don't want to hear, oh, why is there that? Like, he's still in the top 5. Dude. I'm down. But I'm just not as high as everybody else is on him. So my number 4 guy is Carson Beck. Yes, I'm in Georgia. My Georgia fans, my Georgia people that are watching, please don't DM me. Try to find my house and burn my house down. Listen, Carson Beck is a good quarterback. I don't think he's as good as people are saying. He had a lot of support, a lot of good supporting cast around him. He had Brock Bowers. He had the 2 running backs. He had Ladd, all that. So Ray, I just revealed my number 4 guy. I told everybody don't kill me for this because I do live down here, but Carson Beck is my number 4.
You have him at 4?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. See, this is my caveat. What I told everybody, like, listen, I have them at 4, but this is a top 5 out of thousands of quarterbacks, college quarterbacks. So for him to be top 4, that's still really good. That means I still have a very good player.
I'm kind of wondering who your number 1's going to be now. That's all.
Oh, do you have Carson Beck in your number 1? Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's my number 4 guy. Ray, who's your number 4?
I had number 4. I actually have Quinn Ewers from Texas. Okay, I mean, I am a Ewers fan.
Yeah.
But stature solid. He's an okay athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are talent. There's talent there, and there's ability there. But I don't see consistency every week from him.
I get it.
So that's where I have him a little bit lower than other people. I mean, and the problem is, like, you can say the same thing about Texas last year too.
Mm-hmm.
Up and down a little bit, but is that because of the quarterback or is that because of the team? Sometimes I think it's because the quarterback is not consistent. But again, my opinion. So
I got you. We're gonna talk about that because obviously I have him a little bit higher. Number 3, Ray. Let you go first.
At number 3, I have Shredder Sanders from Colorado. Maybe you have him higher than that? Or maybe
I wonder where you got him.
What's that?
I wonder who you got, because our list might be flipped.
Well, no, like, again, if we're talking about next level NFL, dude, he's going to play in the NFL.
Correct.
But right now and what he's done, and he's very productive. But I just think the guys that I have above him are more, well, in one and more consistent, the other one has been more productive for longer than him. So
okay, I got you. All right, number 3, I got Jackson Dart. I have him a little bit higher than you, Ray. I got him there based on his potential. I see him as a freshman when he played a little bit as a freshman. Looked good. Last year, he showed me a lot. Obviously, I want to see more consistency out of that, but he's a guy. He's my rising, like, he's not my rising star that I have on here, but he's a rising star in my opinion. Like, the guy has all the tools that you want in a quarterback. And I think, if he can stay consistent and be as good as I think he can be, he could definitely get drafted next year high.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree that he's going to be drafted pretty high. And I think he's going to be drafted way higher than my second number 2 quarterback again. But talking about a guy, do you want me to just give you my number 2 guy now then?
Yeah, why not?
I got Dylan Gabriel from number 2. I do, man. I think he had a very good year for Oklahoma last year. playing in an Oregon system this year, I think he's going to put up pretty big numbers. I do.
Okay. I'm making faces at you with that one, Ray, because Bo Nix had the same kind of year. Like, he had one good year, and then, you know what I'm saying?
No, man. Now, okay. As a college player, Bo Nix was a top 3 college quarterback last year.
Okay.
As an NFL prospect, he's 30 almost. Okay, so again, I'm not talking about, and I don't think Gillen Gabriel is going to play in the NFL. If he is, he's going to be a backup somewhere at best.
Mm-hmm.
But as a college player, he's been a good player for 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
So, and again, I think at Oregon, in that dink and dunk offense, he's going to put up big numbers.
That's true. Okay. I give you that. I like it. I don't have him in my top 5. I thought about him at some points, but I just had a couple of other guys I had. And my number 2 is Quinn Ewers, right? I got him a little bit higher than you. I think the consistency is an issue. Yes. Again, this is college football. So looking at it in a college football stance, if he can stay consistent, give him one more year and stay consistent, I think he's a top quarterback in this in this class, man. In this, not class, but you get what I'm saying. This crop of quarterbacks for the college football realms. I think
we're talking about as a college player,
correct,
and as an NFL prospect, he's the second or third guy.
Yeah, and that's why I have him.
But as a college player, he's been good.
Yeah, he's been good. I think and I love his running backs that he has that kind of helps him spell him. I think he has an issue with having a bad defense. I don't think the defense is that good. So that could be a little bit of it. You see some quarterbacks kind of try to overachieve or overdo it sometimes. Play hero ball when the defense don't do that well.
And I hate saying this. I don't like Texas quarterbacks.
Okay. Hey, at least you admitted it. Got you.
I know some people feel that way about Ohio State. Some people feel that way about USC. That's how I feel about Texas. Name the last good Texas quarterback. I know who you're going to say, but he, as an NFL player, he's a backup at best.
Oh, Vince Young?
No. What's his name? Little white guy.
Oh, Johnny Manziel? No. That's
Texas A&M. Colt McCoy.
Oh, Colt. Yeah.
College player.
He was amazing college player.
Great college player.
Yes.
Great college player. But when he went to the championship game, I think he got hurt like 3 or 4 minutes into the game, you knew it was over.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy was a great college player.
Ray, I might say something crazy. This might be a hot take, or maybe not even a hot take, because we don't rank this position that much for reasons. But he might be the best NFL backup quarterback of all time. He might be the best backup quarterback of all time.
Well, Nick Foles would probably argue that.
Yeah. As a backup, yes, you're right.
Like guys like that were really good backups their whole career. But I mean, dude, I like Colt McCoy. He's a great guy.
Correct.
And he's a good player. He's a good solid quarterback. But that's what he is.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay. All right, you're number 1, Ray. I already know who it is. But go ahead.
Back. The lineage is there. He's talented. He's going to be the best first quarterback drafted, even though that's not relevant right now, but he's going to be.
I want to see what he does without all those weapons. I really want to do that because I like Ray. I'm so sorry. I see him in person.
It's great, man. I just love it when people that hate Eli. I know people used to hate Eli Manning. Like,
I don't do that either.
What would he be without Plaxico Burress?
See, I don't do that. I don't do that. My issue was, like, you can have all the weapons in the world, or you can have as little weapons in the world. That don't necessarily define a quarterback for me. For me, it does help them. Don't get me wrong. It don't define them. For me, when Carson Beck is when I see him play and he makes these crazy throws and you're like, oh, this is about to be bad. And Brock Bowers catch it like this behind his back like this. That's what I'm talking about. Now, at the end of the season, he got a lot better. Don't get me wrong. He looked a lot better by the end of the season. But most of the season last year did not impress me. Beforehand, he didn't play that much. So I do want to give him a pass. I got him at 4, right? It's not like I don't have him high.
Yeah, man, again, it's your list, Jerome. And I don't have a problem with your list. I'm
just saying.
Again, as far as a college player,
yeah,
he's really good, man, and he's going to be very good. He may win the Heisman this year, and
I think people are hyping up way too much for so as little as he did. I think in the beginning, this is the thing too, right?
Do you think he's going to get drafted like 30 spots before he should, like the Michigan quarterback did?
Hell no. At least JJ had more experience. Now, granted, he's going to be able to get more experience because he's going to play this year. He's going to be the starter this year. So it's a good year to be like, hey, let's see. Like, I'll tell you, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have said JJ McCarthy was a good quarterback. I would say the same thing that I said with Beck. I want to see more.
No, I agree.
So
I agree, but right now we're talking about a kid that won a lot of games last year. And I mean, plus the guys that were better than him last year are all gone now.
That's true.
You know, so it's like you got to reach up your back a little bit. You know, like I mean, again, I could argue that Dart, Milroe, and yours could wind up being better than Carson back after this year. It's very possible. It is. I'm not right now. Well, knowing what I know about Georgia and knowing what I know about Beck and what talent he does have, I don't think he's going to fall off of the stats he had.
And that's why I got my 4, right? And that's exactly what I have on my 4.
Yeah, we're talking.
I just need to see more. I just need to see more. I just need to see more.
No, I agree. You know what? Except for Gabriel, I agree with that about all these kids. I mean, Quinn Ewers has something to prove, even though I think he made a smart decision to come back because he'll be drafted way higher next year than he would have been this year for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Jalen Monroe has a lot to prove, but, man, there was a lot of development from week 1 through the year last year.
I give you that, yeah.
You know, but, again, we're talking about a new coach in Alabama, but a good system, I think, for him.
Yeah. And you know what, right? I do kind of feel bad for not having Monroe that high on this list. Like I said, I did. If I would have made a 5B, I would have had him on there. I do feel bad not having him because you're right. He did show a lot of progression throughout the season. My issue with him is that he did get benched and he did not look good against Michigan. But Michigan has a really good defensive line and they had a really bad offensive line. So
we're talking about the strength of Michigan, which is their front 7, and the weakness of Alabama's offense, which is their front 5.
Correct.
That was part of that. And again, I think he
that boneheaded play at the end by the coaches.
Honestly, this is not a criticism of Nick Saban because he's an all-time great. But I think the coach in there now is going to be way more friendlier to the quarterback than Nick Saban has been.
Yeah, that's true.
Not talent-wise, but scheme-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I agree. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man. I had to pick Beck at 4 just because of that. But I want to pick number 1, obviously Shedeur Sanders. You called it right. So for me, I feel the opposite of how I feel back with Sanders. I think Sanders did not have a lot of help. They had some really good receivers. The offensive line was garbage. He had the most sacks in college football last year and still put up the stats that he had. I would have loved to see him in Alabama, and maybe Notre Dame offensive line, something like that. You know, a really Michigan type of offensive line.
I'd love to see a guy like that in with the system that Washington ran last year.
Yeah,
a lot of vertical guys running all over the field.
Correct.
The athleticism of that guy, that would be interesting. You know?
Correct. And I'm still not sold on him being the number 1 overall quarterback right now, and that's what everybody's kind of saying. I'm not sold on that yet. So again, this is strictly college football, not right now. Just right now. We'll see how it is at the end of the season. But right now, I don't have him as the number one overall player. I just don't. Like, and a lot of early mock drafts, I see him as the number one overall pick. I can't get past that right now. Just right now. But as a college football player, I think he's the best quarterback. He held that team together as much as he could. Really, a lot of their losses were closer losses. They were a lot high scoring, and a lot of it had to do with him. But the defense was a small defensive crew. The offensive line was small and not good. That team, as much as we hyped it up in the beginning, and for right reason, nobody really thought they was going to be that good, especially starting off. But the team itself wasn't that good. It was way too many transfers. The players that was already there wasn't that great already. It was a whole new culture. So I do expect it to be a little bit better this year. I think they recruited a lot of good offensive linemen this year to kind of combat and help that. So we'll definitely see. But not saying they're going to be the greatest, but I think they're going to be a better team with Shador and Coach Prime still back there, so.
No, I agree with that. The offense will be very productive again. And I agree with what you're saying. I do see mock drafts where he's like taking like first or second. But again, you got to take guys on upside, and there's a lot of upside. So we'll see.
100%. All right, so let's get to our next segment. Our next segment, which is going to be the rising stars of the quarterbacks. So again, me and Ray just kind of whipped this up last minute. I'm very curious to see what Ray have. But Ray, tell us who your rising star quarterback is.
Jalen Daniels from Kansas. A guy who played a little bit last year but didn't get a full season underneath of him. I see a lot of potential up there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that Kansas team was very surprising last year. I think that's a really good pick. And I think Jalen had a lot to do with that, right? What is he a sophomore?
He's a sophomore. He has 705 yards in limited games, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Had 74 yards rushing. He's a good solid athlete with a nice, good solid arm. I think again in a Kansas offense, it's usually pretty wide open. So
100%. So I thought we was gonna get the same guy. It's not the same guy, but that's fine. This guy, he's a 5-star prospect, and I'm usually not the type to jump on the 5-star thing, blah blah blah. But this guy got me sold already. Really good quarterback. And I'm gonna say his name. I'm trying to say his last name as much as I can, but Nico Imalava. I think that's how you say it. From Tennessee.
That's correct.
Man, Ray, I'm watching him. This kid can throw the ball. He played a limited snaps last year. Played in the bowl game last year. I believe they won the game as well. Looked really good in that game, man. Very impressive. I've been watching some clips of him in spring games and things like that, and he looks good there as well. I'm really looking forward to see how he does this year as the sole starter. This is why there are rising stars. So this doesn't mean that they're draft eligible guys or Heisman eligible guys. These are guys that we think that are going to be high risers this year, and I think Nico is going to be that guy. A guy that I actually just want to quickly mention because Cam Rising, and no pun intended, but Cam Rising, man, injuries been just riddling him, but he's such a good quarterback, man. He really, really is. And Utah last year really missed him. I think he's a really good quarterback. He's going to be a guy that can, elevate that team again, hopefully coming back for his 20th season. So we'll see how that works out. But I feel like this man been playing forever, Ray. I think he has 7 seasons.
Looks that way.
It's crazy. Crazy. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to get to our next segment, which is the top 5 running backs in college football. So, Ray, let's kick us off. Number 5.
Again, I have a 5A and a 5B, so I'll go over them quick. I have Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State and Ashton Jeanty from Boise State.
Yes.
Both very productive players. Of course, Judkins is transfer from Ole Miss, so it'll be his first year there. So there's a lot for him to prove, but he was productive last year. I think playing with Ohio State will probably be a little bit more productive behind that offensive line. So.
Yeah, Austin, I actually have him a little bit higher than you, Ray. I see a lot of potential in this kid. And like you say, first year as a transfer student, we'll see how he does in the big leagues. But man, I think he's going to be a really good player for Ole Miss. I'm sorry, Boise.
Ohio State.
No. I'm talking about Austin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeanty, right?
Jeanty, yeah.
From Boise State. Okay.
Boise. All right, cool. All right, my number 5 guy is Taj Brooks from Texas Tech. I don't think a lot of people know about Texas Tech that much, so I don't think he's really in that hemisphere. But man, he's a rolling ball. He's a really good player. I think he's going to elevate this Texas Tech team. Texas Tech problem always been their offensive line. They always had a good player, but the offensive line was always seemed to not be good for some reason. They can never really recruit there. But if you got a running back like him, I think he masked a lot of offensive line issues, especially when you run the ball a lot more. Offensive linemen like to run the ball. So I think he's going to be a really good addition for this team. What you think about him, Ray?
Actually, I had Taj Brooks as my number 4 guy, so I'm a fan.
Hey, nice.
Very productive guy, like over 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, another 29 receptions. A lot of it screens and stuff, but he does that. So he's a very versatile player.
Right.
And as much as I don't like running backs from Texas, quarterbacks from Texas, even though there are a lot of good ones there, it's not at the university. I do like Texas Tech running backs. I think he's a versatile kid who will do a lot of things for you, and he's a good blocker too, which is always
100%. Yeah, that's definitely gonna have some value in the NFL for them. All right, number 4, I got Austin Jeanty right there. Again, like I'll just give him a lot of praise. I think he's a really good running back. Obviously he's in transfer, so we're gonna see how he does being at Boise. But his abilities, his skill set is top tier to me. I think it's really good. I just think we just need to see the production at a different level, So
I'm a big fan of JT. Again,
correct.
Production is there, both actually rushing and receiving the ball. So
correct. 100%. All right, who you got number 3, right?
Marion Hampton from North Carolina, another ultra productive kid, 1,500 yards, averaged like almost 6 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns, running the ball. A slasher type, not a finesse guy, but not a true power back either. More of a Curtis Martin type, shifty guy through the seam, and
one cut.
One cut type of kid. Good football player though. It's a good again. A lot of good running backs every year.
Yeah. I actually don't have him in my top 5. I have him close in there, but I do like him. At number 3, I have Quinshawn Jenkins from Ole Miss. Really good player right there, man. I like him a lot, man. He shows a lot of abilities to me. There are boys at Ole Miss. I think he's going to have a really good year there, Ray. Do you have him in your top 5?
Junkins?
Is it Junkins? Yeah, Junkins. That's 5, right?
Ohio State.
Yeah. Oh, he's at Ohio State now?
He's playing Ohio State this year, man. You don't like him quite as much, do you?
No. Cross him off my list.
He's out.
Nah. Oh, Ray. Wow. I'm surprised you said. Okay, I'm mad they got him right now. Okay.
No, he's very good though. But again,
he's good. I got my number 3
system. So we'll see. But I think he's very good, and Ohio State's usually a pretty decent offense. Don't like their
That's
coach.
why when you said his name and I got confused, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, he played at Ole Miss last year, and the stats I have here are okay. That's why I assume playing behind Ohio State's offensive line will probably be a little bit better.
They got him.
Yeah. a little bit more different about that.
And you know what, Ray? You know what's crazy?
Little different about that portal too, aren't you?
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Ray? I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think I seen a highlight of him playing for Ohio State. So, dang. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, whatever. We'll still beat him. Did you say you were number 3, Ray?
I did. Well, Hampton was my number 3.
Okay, number 2 then.
Travion Henderson from Ohio State is my number 2.
How you gonna have 2 of those running backs?
Because they're also talented, both of them.
They're gonna have to run a lot, then.
That's not my fault. That's not my problem. That's Michigan's problem, man, and Penn State's problem. I don't care about that. I think
no, it's not the point of that. It's just point of you got 2 of their running backs in the top 5 when they're more of a passing team with all those receivers.
Oh, last year Henderson averaged 6 yards a carry. Had 11 touchdowns rushing the ball. He did only have 926 yards.
Yeah.
But he still averaged 6 yards a carry. He's going to get more carries this year than he did last year.
I'll give you that.
Running backs are not there. And he caught 20 balls for 230 yards and 10 touchdowns receiving too. Oh, he's talented.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, he never did nothing against Michigan, so.
Man, it's going to be fun to see how Michigan's defense is this year.
I think their defense is still intact. It's the offense I worry about, right?
Well, yeah, you have a lot of players on offense.
Yeah. Offensively, I'm scared. Defense. I got confidence in the defense. Although we lost our safety, I forgot his name.
The safeties are easy to replace.
Yeah, they are easier than anything. I'll give you that.
I mean, unless they're truly special,
Yeah. So, let's see. What is his name?
So who do you have number 2?
Rod Moore. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, we lost Rod Moore for the season.
Really?
Yeah. My number 2 guy is a guy that's been injury riddled last year. Played very well when he did play. Lost the job obviously because of injuries, but if he can stay healthy, I'm keeping him here. CJ Braxton, sorry. CJ Braxton from Texas. Now, that's not going to be a sexy pick. Everybody's not going to like that pick, but his ability when he was on the field, right, I was like, how the heck do this Texans team always find freaking running backs? Man, they still got the dude Blue. I think his name is Jadon Blue. They got him. The guy that just got drafted. They had CJ. Man, they were stacked at running back. And I think that, he's a really good running back. I think that, he's going to be somebody that Texas needs to rely on a little bit more just to keep some of that pressure off of Ewers. But, man, I like him a lot. I actually got 2 Texas people in 2 positions at the top 2 picks. So I just realized I did that. So, hey, man, I like those 2 players, though. So.
Yeah, again, good running back. Group of running backs. I mean, every team has a decent running back, and some teams have more than that. I'm surprised you didn't have Donovan Edwards anywhere on your list.
I messed up. I
would actually consider him. Maybe he could be a sleeper type of a guy. Because he could have limited role last year, and it's going to be increased this year for sure.
100%. My big thing with him is, and it's not as much as when I actually feared it a little bit more with Blake Corum, because I was just wondering, like, will he be able to run in between the tackles, And he proved me wrong, he did that really well. I have a little bit less fear with that with Donovan Edwards, Donnie. I would definitely have Donovan Edwards. I would have. I messed up.
His stats from last year weren't that great, but that's good.
Yeah, but he did everything.
A lot of guys. Yeah,
he did everything though too. He
did
pass protect, catched out of the backfield, ran out of the backfield, even threw out of the backfield a couple of times.
Agreed. I'm a fan. So
I am too. Right? Is that your number 1?
No, he was my number 1 is Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. No, I I would have had Edwards right outside my maybe 7 or 8. But I could have had him like as a sleeper, like a guy who goes from like 800 yards to maybe 12 or 1,300 yards this year.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I think he's that talented. I mean, he didn't get a chance last year. I mean, he did a good job for what his role was on that team.
Yeah. I would say this too about him. He started the season out kind of slow. It could be a volume thing too. It could be a volume thing.
It is that. I think he's the kind of guy like I talked about Curtis Martin earlier. Curtis Martin was the kind of guy that he wouldn't give you 15, 20. He'd give you 5 yards, 3.5 yards, 8 yards, 7 yards. I think Donovan Edwards is that guy. Yeah. He's going to move the chains.
Because Ray, I'm not going to lie.
Every once in a while, he's going to give you that burst. He's going to give you that 15 or so.
Yeah.
He's going to move the ball. He's going to move the chains for you.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, Ray, the thing I had about Donnie, the first 3 games, I think he averaged like a yard. The first 3 games. Something crazy, like a yard in 3 games. That's your average. So he started off the season really slow. Obviously, he played a lot better, dominated Ohio State like he usually does. He's a guy, man, and he's one of those guys. If you give him a crease, that dude is fast. He's gonna get out there. He's gonna destroy your defense if you're not ready. So one missed assignment is over for him. So he's gonna get that, beat run for sure.
Well, he runs you said like he's a rhythm guy who you saw when you gave him a couple carries or a series, he would do a nice job, but. Again, running back dictate you had a lot of good running backs, 3 or 4 deep, so you had to share the carries a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing too about Donnie, and then I'll move on. But the other thing about Donnie was one, he got benched at one point last year. He did get benched, and he was contemplating transferring. Now he wound up not doing it, but he was contemplating it, and it was publicly known that he was thinking about transferring.
Again, probably was not with the volume of carries he was getting.
Correct.
So,
definitely. So
I don't ever blame the kids for wanting the ball more.
Yeah. And it's funny because somebody was like, the college football video game that's out. Donovan Edwards is on the cover of it. He's actually front and center of the cover. And everybody's like, who's that guy? I'm like, how you don't know Donnie?
Wow.
You call yourself a college football fan, you don't know Donnie? Come on. Just go to Ohio and ask about Donnie. Yeah. They'll tell you who he is. Yeah.
Go watch him what they did down the end of the season where he actually picked it up a lot.
You know what's funny? One of the comments on that poster that they put out for the college cover page, Donovan Edwards in the middle, and somebody said, "Who's that?" And kind of like what I said. It was like, yeah, ask Ohio State because they used to seeing the back of his jersey. Oh, burn! I love that. That was a good one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, all right. So my number one guy is Ollie Gretton as well, man. He's the best running back right now. There's a lot of good running backs actually, right? What'd you say?
There are a lot of good.
Yeah. And I know Ray. Before we got on, Ray said that it was easier to pick running backs. I kind of felt the opposite because there are a lot of good ones. So, not the fact that it wasn't a lot of good. I mean, the fact that it wasn't enough talent. It was too much talent. Sometimes you have too much talent, it's just hard to pick and choose which ones you really want. So.
For me, it was more like a quarterbacks. Really, from the first one to the 7th guy, there's very close. Where the running backs, I think the top 6 guys are really the best that I have here, and then everyone else is like a step behind them.
Yeah.
Where the quarterbacks, you can argue a guy that I don't even have on my list that may be better than all of them.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So,
100%. All right, Ray, let's get to our rising stars. I'm curious who you got here. Rising star right here.
I have a Raheem Sanders from South Carolina, transfer from Arkansas. Not only is I think he's a talented kid. He was productive 2 years ago, but really fell off last year. I think some injuries were involved. Maybe getting benched at one point were involved. But I think he's a productive guy, and he has a lot proven. Really, after last year, he's a big, powerful kid who I think, if I project, I'm projecting 1,200 yards, double-digit touchdowns. So,
Yeah, I do. I'm glad you mentioned him, Ray. I kind of forgot about him. Like you said, injuries. But when he was playing, he was really good, Ray. So a guy that I kind of forgot about. I'm glad you mentioned him. I'm gonna go for another sophomore running back. This guy showed me a lot of flashes. I feared the love of God when he played against Michigan, and they did actually pay him in because I was just like, oh God, this is about to be bad. And when he wasn't, he was very productive when he did play. Obviously, he was a freshman last year, so he didn't get a ton of action. But I think he's going to be really good this year. A Georgia native guy, played at Beaufort High School, not too far from me in Gwinnett County. Justin Hayes from Alabama, running back, man. Power, speed. He has everything you need. He's going to be – I really feel like he's going to be that next big running back out of Alabama. He has the balance. He has strength. Man, when he played against Michigan, I got scared. I'm not going to lie. And when I got scared, he showed me – he was like, yeah, you should be scared. I was literally thinking Alabama, like, thank you for putting him on the bench. Literally, because when he got in the game, he was starting to heat up, and I was like, oh, please don't get this guy high. Please don't get this guy high. And they did want to bench him. I think that's one of the worst decisions they did, actually, taking him out of the game because he was starting to get higher on us. I would say that was like the third quarter when they started playing him a lot more, and I was like, God, please get rid of him. Because he was getting hot, man. And, I got to see him at Beaufort. I only got to see him his senior year at Beaufort.
But you remember, though, Jerome, the last few plays, Michigan stiffened them on him a little bit. And they weren't giving as many big carries. I think Alabama started thinking they needed to throw the ball more than they really needed to.
That's true.
And that's why they took – I say Michigan tried to focus on taking the run away from Alabama more than they kind of went away from the running back.
Yeah.
So.
I give you that. But yeah, it was looking bleak, and I was like, oh, no, because they, Alabama started running the ball, and they started running the ball
effectively all through the third quarter, and then Michigan stiffened a little bit in the beginning of the fourth.
Yeah.
And it was like, they're a little more physical. They're probably going to win this game. And Alabama's offensive line is not great either.
Correct. So he's my rising star this year, man. I think he's going to take that next level step. He's going to be one of those guys that people are going to be talking about. I just hope Michigan don't play him again because he was looking – woo! He's like – and again, this like I say, I see guys that are in high school all the time. I cover a lot of high school here in Georgia. Georgia athletes are generally bigger than they should be as high school kids. I'm telling you, this Justin Hayes kid looked like an NFL player already. He got NFL size already. So take that for what you want. This kid is a beast. He's super fast. He's super strong. I'm very curious and excited to see what he does this year for sure.
What do you think about Trevor Etienne going from Florida to Georgia? You think
Trevor Etienne? Oh, Etienne. Yeah. Can I be real with you, Ray?
Yeah.
He might be I personally think he might be their best offensive player.
I think so too. I was thinking I have him and honestly Donovan Edwards is a guy that will make a real impact on their offenses this year.
100%. I agree with that.
I like Etienne a lot.
Yeah,
he was productive in Florida, but at Georgia, I think he'd be really good there.
Yeah, Georgia always have a good offensive line too. So
yeah, I see him being really productive there this year. So
100%. No, I agree. I like that too. That was a good assessment from you, Ray.
Yeah.
All right, last segment. Let's get to it. Yeah, Ray smiling. NCAA has put out a settlement, NIL settlement, It was House versus NCAA. To give a small snippet in it, because I don't know the full story, so I don't want to butcher it. So what I'm hearing is NCAA was basically getting sued by the teams for a back settlement on not paying certain players and allowing certain schools to give out money. If I'm correct on that, Ray, please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I don't know exactly, Jerome. I don't understand what they're doing anymore. Like,
yeah,
I need someone to explain to me what's going on.
yeah.
And
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
why we can't make grown men act like grown men.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know a lot of legal actions. If any of our viewers know what's going on, we would gladly love for you to either hop on her or put some comments in the comment section and let us know. Or if you're watching on the replay, please just go in the comment section and let us know how this settlement kind of went about. But go ahead, Ray.
I mean, the settlement is going to go for what?
So let me give you that information right now. So the settlement is going to distribute roughly $2.8 million in NIL back pay. This 2.8. I think I told you. What'd you say?
To whom? Who's getting the money?
The schools, all the schools. So it should be every school. But the thing is, how is that going to be distributed? Now, what this is saying that while the NCAA is responsible for roughly 40% of the settlement, much of the bearing of all the fall on the members of its member universities. The Power Conference schools are poised to contribute roughly 25% of the bill, leaving the often cash-strapped schools to compromise the remainder of the D1. Ooh, the D1 cover the remaining 36% of the total settlement. Whoa. Wow. So this article I'm looking at is giving winners and losers of this. So I'm gonna just kind of like read that off, and then me and Ray is gonna kind of discuss what we think. So the NCAA, I'm sorry, this article is saying the winners will be the players, the boosters, the fans, the NCAA tournament, the lawyers, obviously, the Big Ten and the SEC, rightfully so, because they got probably gonna have the most money involved in getting this. And then the losers, they say the loser is the NCAA itself, competitive balance, non-revenue sports. So that's another thing, right? We got to remember this is not just football; this is NCAA in general. Mid-level department bloat is a loser, and that was it. So I don't want to sit here verbatim and go over that whole entire article, but I wanted to see what you thought about the whole situation itself. Do you agree with the losers and winners? And how you think it's going to change the landscape of college football? Because it already changing. We already see that. But how much more is this going to affect?
I mean, you want me to blatantly tell you that they're going to ruin college sports?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. They're going to ruin college sports.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to. I mean, they're ruining it already. Yeah. I hate to tell people, man, the more lawyers get involved, the more things get screwed up in this country, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the people that run this country are mostly lawyers. How are we doing?
Not good. Not good.
Like, they have taken what was really, man, we know that teams cheat. They give out money left and right. I mean, we know it. Why did we think giving them more money was going to make it any different?
Mm-hmm.
The same people that were ruining it back then are doing it now. But now it's transparent. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm sure the people that were doing it and being shysty about it before are going to find even more different type of such
that's
stuff.
the problem. It's never the sport. It's the people that. It's like the country. It's not the country. That's why I hate it when people say, "Man, I'm really getting tangent here now, man." Like this is why I hate people that hate the American flag or don't want to or don't respect the American flag. It's not the flag. It's not what this country stands for. It's the people that run it. Okay, just like
Correct.
college football. It's not football. It's not the coaches. It's not the players. I'm not saying they don't take advantages. They do. It's the people that run it.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I think there's going to be a very interesting because the 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 initial the initial NIL situation, we had a problem with it because of how was it going to be regulated. I think that the NCAA just kind of pushed that out just to be like, hey, look, we're going to letting them have money. It's not on us. We don't have nothing to do with that. It's not on us, kind of deal. Now that they're making a settlement, it's going to allow players to get these money, which, hey, bro, like, make your money. I get that. But the issue with it is that we're going to have a huge shift in how these big network schools are going to operate now. And it's going to weed out a lot of the smaller schools. And there might be I think there might be some kind of a competitor to NCAA some kind of way. I don't know if that's possible, but
When it's all said and done, the lawyers will make more money, and everyone else will be screwed.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why when it comes to business and money is 2 and 2 and 2, not 6. Why? I mean, these people told themselves what they want to tell themselves to justify it in their own minds. Are they evil scientists, man, or are they football fans?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting really. I just don't understand. I mean, something as simple as college football, which was supposed to be like the purest sport in all of competitive sports, because there was no political things involved. Like we all know track and field and the Olympics are all like kind of like judge and there's always fudging. We thought these sports were like, these were on the up and up, man. There's nothing going on here. But what you see is now the teams that were giving out money back in the day are giving out more money than they ever had before, but no one cares now. Okay? Here's the thing. When Caleb Williams was drafted, people hated him because he seemed arrogant. If you made $20 million before you said that in college, you'd be arrogant too, brother. Okay? Let's be real about it.
Yeah.
Money makes you arrogant. Sorry. Is that news to anyone?
Nah. My thing too about this whole situation too, it's not only just the NIL deals, because again, I'm okay with kids getting money, especially at that level. I'm all right with it, especially the fact that these schools and universities getting so much money off of what these kids are doing, and especially with football. I mean, we're a football podcast. We kind of like keep it in the football realm. So as far as football, I think football is a very violent sport where you can get injured way more often than any other sport. The issue I have with everything though is the transfer portal with the NIL deals. With that combination is making it real tough and real.
I'm probably not going to be here 20, 30 years from now. You will be, hopefully, God willing.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But you're going to hear then how all these kids suffer from getting so much money throwing at them and not knowing what to do with it. Mark the words, man. Mark it down.
And it reminds me of like these child stars.
It's like childhood stars. They were destroyed by everybody throwing things at them, and they couldn't handle it. Watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. Because we want to protect these kids. We want to make sure they're good, and we don't want them to have too. I don't want to say early success, but too much of a good thing is always not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And to throw so much money at somebody that's not mentally developed enough to kind of handle all that, it does. We get NIL deals right now in high school.
Honestly,
it's even worse.
If you watch, even like I said something like, and I hate to bring up music, young music stars that were brought up like management or parents or probably a little bit of both, how they had no say over anything they did because there was always somebody telling them what to do. And then how in the end, everybody ripped them off.
Mm-hmm.
That's another part of this you're going to hear. Agents and lawyers getting way too involved in your money.
Man, I know grown men are getting ripped off by lawyers and all that stuff like that.
Right.
So.
If I were going to give one of these kids, young men, any advice, find someone you really, 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 really trust to help you take care of your money.
Correct.
And I'm not sure who that person is for you, but don't always think it's the person that act like they're the closest to you.
Correct.
Because there's a reason why they're close to you right now, man. Okay.
100%.
All right.
100%. Yeah, man. So I don't want to dwell on it too long, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there. At least let me and Ray talk about it. If we miss something, guys, again, please comment up here and let us know if we missed anything. As far as the news, if there's anything you wanted to add on here, maybe you want to iron out your shirts as well.
You know what's also funny about it, Jerome? The guys that would really help or benefit from this are not the guys that are going to make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that are the true fringe football players that can really benefit from making this money right now are not the ones that are going to get the money thrown at them.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the real shame. So if the NCAA, here's the thing, like where I'm coming from, if the NCAA is more responsible for giving those kids more money, I'm all for that. The guys that aren't the superstars that are going to the NFL, or the guys that maybe will have to play on a practice squad, or maybe they play in Canada, the guys that are really going to struggle to make real legitimate money down the road.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see how the money's going to be dispersed, though. I think that's the biggest question.
Who's responsible and who's getting it?
100%. Yep. Because I'm sure it's not going to be an even pot. I'm
never is. That's the problem with this country, man. Like it never is. I mean, it's always guys in the background scheming, and I hate to say it. I hate to sound pessimistic, but it's usually how it is, man. Like, yeah, it really is. I mean, for every we know, for every, there's probably I want to say, 100,000 people involved in college football and whatever. And maybe only 10% of them are bad guys, but man, they are really making it difficult for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, while we get more information on this, we will definitely update you guys as much as possible. This is going to be an interesting story going forward. See how all that kind of goes out. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I know that was a rough topic to end this off, but we're, at the end of the day, we all just want college football to be the best it can be. And, we want everybody to fairly get compensated for what they're supposed to as well. If they are going to put out money, at least that, and make sure everything's fair across the board. Obviously, that's not going to happen right now, but man, we just love college football, man. So we're just going to leave it like that. We don't want the game to change too much. It's going to always change, but we want it to be that drastic. So we'll say. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. I'm Jerome Jones. That's your humble host. That's Ray Roberts. Once again, please make sure that you go to that promo code right there in that corner right over there. It is ITH space football. You get 10% off of all Phenom items. If you are a football player, if you're a soccer player, if you're a basketball player, they have all types of sports gear on there for you. And if you use our promo code right there on top, right above Ray's head, you can get 10% off on any Phenom item. So thanks for Phenom for sponsoring us. We do appreciate it. If you like us and you like what you see here, please make sure you go like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. All our social medias are on our QR code right under there, right there, right under Ray. So make sure you scan that code. That'll allow you to see all our social medias. And if you could follow, subscribe, like, that would definitely help us out. If you have any comments that you want to talk about anything, rather that's our list, or rather it's the NIL situation, please put a comment in there. We comment back on all comments as well. So please help us out and support us there as well. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. I'm Jerome Jones. That's Ray Roberts. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate y'all every time. Make sure you go and check us out next week, where we're probably going to be doing wide receivers and tight ends, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. I think that's a good idea. So thanks to this again, guys. Hope to see you next time. And I hope you enjoy the show. Have a good weekend. Peace.